Welcome to the show. This is the WillPower Podcast, hosted by Will Holdren. Each week, we sit down with the brightest entrepreneurial minds and uncover the real secrets behind their success. And if you want every episode in one place, plus exclusive insights and updates, head to willpowerpodcast.org and join the email list. If you're ready to take that next step and unlock your next breakthrough, you're in the right place. Now, let's get to the show.
How are we doing, everyone? My name is Will Holdren. I am the host of the WillPower Podcast, and today we have a really amazing guest that I've always wanted to have on our podcast. His name is John Lee Dumas, and John is an absolute beast of an entrepreneur. He is the host of these Entrepreneur on Fire podcasts, which is a podcast that has pretty much revolutionized the whole podcasting space. They have over 160 million listens across 4,500 episodes, and he pretty much invented doing podcasts every single day. So it's an absolute honor to have him on here today. John, first and foremost, thank you so much for joining me.
Will, I am fired up to be here. Everybody thought I was stupid for starting a daily podcast back in 2012, but here I am 14 years later, still being stupid, still having fun.
That's what it's all about at the end of the day. You got to enjoy what you do. I know we have a limited time, but I want to ask you a few questions straight to the point. If you had to go back to zero in 2026 right now, no audience, no email list, no brand, but you still have your skills and your knowledge, what would be the first thing that you would do?
Honestly, I would start a podcast. It'd be a YouTube channel with an audio component as well for Apple and Spotify, et cetera. It would not be an interview-based podcast. It would be specifically a topic-based podcast. I would go out there into the world and I would really be asking myself the deep questions of what do I love? What am I passionate about? But also what skills and knowledge do I have in this world that I can contribute? And how do those kind of commingle together? How do they marry? And then how can I find within that little zone of fire, how can I find something that's missing, something that people aren't doing right now, like an unfulfilled niche? And then how can I just become the number one solution to a real problem in that specific industry, which of course has to be a growing industry. So that's what I would do. I would really just get obsessed about finding the right topic, the right vertical. I would become obsessed about creating the number one solution to a real problem in that vertical, in that industry. And I would just create content on that. I would create 5-minute, 7-minute, 9-minute videos every single day, 7 days a week. Listen, no rest for the weary. This once a week BS that people do, I don't know if you do it, Will, I'm sorry, but that's BS if you do it.
That's my second one today. So
there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. I mean, come on. Yeah. I mean, these poor people get up every single day and go to their 9-to-5 job in a cubicle. And you're telling me you can't create more than one video or interview or topic-based podcast every single day? Grow up. I literally create a new show before 8 a.m. every day for another completely different show that I do called MSTR Today that has nothing to do with Entrepreneurs on Fire. That's before 8 a.m. when most of you guys are still sleeping in your bed like the lazy little... Never mind. I'm getting off topic here. But you get it. I'm joking, obviously, because people listening to this show are not lazy, obviously, because you wouldn't be listening to this show if you were lazy. You'd be playing video games or watching Netflix or Mr. Beast or whatever you're doing, which is not intelligent and not getting you not moving you forward in the right direction. But that's what I would do, Will. I would create videos every single day that it's this is the problem that I'm solving. Here's the 50 biggest problems within this problem that people have. Here's the solution. Those are the first 50 videos that I would create within that. And how would I find those 50 problems? Yeah. I would just pop it into ChatGPT and say, hey, this is my YouTube channel. This is what I'm doing. This is the problem I'm solving. Give me the biggest 50 problems that people have on this topic. Go. And then I will create a video every single day on that topic.
Yeah, I love that. So people listening, they want to go out there, start a podcast right now, just like you're talking about. What is the best way for them to maintain their motivation for the podcast and the best way for them to separate from the thousands of other podcasts that are out there? Because there's a lot out there, right? So how do you differentiate yourself?
Well, first, you don't just do what everybody else is doing. Nobody wants a pale, weak imitation of somebody else. You don't just do an interview podcast, interviewing entrepreneurs and asking them the same questions that everybody gets asked over and over again. You've got to say, this is what I stand for. This is you need to be polarizing. You need to be contrarian. I love the phrase love me or hate me, because there's no money in the middle. I would never touch politics with a 10-foot pole. I think that's the most toxic industry ever. But that's why people that do political stuff have big followings because it's toxic, because it's polarizing. And I'm not saying you should be toxic, but you should be polarizing. You should stand for something that you believe in, that you care about. And that kind of goes back to the first part of your question. How do you keep up the motivation? It's because you chose something you care about, that's meaningful to you, that you have passions, enthusiasms for. That's how you get up every day and do it. Like, I love this company called MicroStrategy. The actual name they changed to Strategy about a year ago. And I follow this company. I'm passionate about it. I love what they're doing. I think they're building something amazing. I would be researching them myself. So I said, without doing anything. So I said, why not do a show about it every day? And I wake up in the morning and I do the show. I knock it out. It's a 10 or 15-minute show. I hit publish and I walk away. It's not perfect. Sometimes it's really good. Sometimes it's not that good. But I hit publish every single day. And that show makes $12,000 a month. Like, that's just a revenue stream that again, most people wake up in the morning. I've made $12,000 for the month, like, by doing this 15-minute show, because it's on a topic that I like. It's on a very polarizing topic. It's a very polarizing topic. It's in the financial industry, and people, money is, that's why I would think about money. I would think about relationships. I would think about, that's the kind of topics you got to think about, and then finding niches within that.
Yeah. Yeah. And to your point, a lot of people never really find their voice. I think they go through life kind of drifting and never really say what they want to say, and never really have that polarizing voice that you were just talking about, which I think is so crucial and allows people to build a brand, right? Because people can see that, people can relate to that, but they don't know what you're all about if you can never say it, at the end of the day, which is crucial.
Nobody likes vanilla. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Next question for you is, if Entrepreneurs on Fire disappeared tomorrow, what would you hope outlives the brands?
The people that were inspired by the first 5,127 episodes that I did. Like, there's people that back in 2013, 2012, 2017, 2022, listened to an episode, heard my guest share something amazing, motivating, inspiring, light bulb worthy, and then they went out and did something that they otherwise would never have done. So that's like a ripple that my show created, that caused a ripple effect across, who knows how many industries and people and lives. So, like, that's why I love this industry, because even the show disappears tomorrow, like, I have 175 million listens in the past 14 years. Like, those aren't going away because they already happened. This in the past. Hopefully I have 175 more million in the future. But even if I don't, like, those people that listened and were inspired, were given confidence and motivation, like, that's already happened. And, like, that to me is amazing.
Yeah. And to your point, it takes time, right? You do have done thousands of episodes, which is really hard to believe and imagine, but that's really what it takes.
I was just thinking, I was like, in this room, I've done over 3,000 episodes.
That's crazy.
Which is like, wow.
At what episode did your podcast really start to take off?
It was about episode 400. So it was about a little over a year of doing the show every single day that the show really started getting traction. Because guess what? I started getting not bad at what I did. Like, everybody's going to be bad at interviewing, at talking, at speaking, at facilitating a conversation. The first couple hundred times you do it, that goes for everything. The first couple hundred times you shoot a basketball, you're terrible. But times 10,000 to 20,000, you're probably pretty good. And, 20,000 and above, you're probably making a lot of shots. Like, that's life. Yeah.
And that's inspiring to hear. I mean, do you have any stories in mind where it's kind of like embarrassing of what happened, like in some early interview or something like that? Or
yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, I was so nervous, like when I interviewed Seth Godin, that like I was holding a piece of paper up and I was kind of shaking. And like, then I realized that, like, I thought that it was audio only, but I looked up and I saw the camera was on and he was like watching me hold this piece of paper up, shaking, like asking him the questions that were written on the piece of paper. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that happens. I mean, it's just, it's a reality, it's life. And I got just a little tiny bit better every single day.
Yeah. You just can't get discouraged, which I think is what stops a lot of people at the end of the day. So obviously you've grown your podcast, so many episodes. So at the end of the day, I mean, at your scale, what percentage of your success would you contribute to either like your personality or systems? And if systems matter more, what systems really change the trajectory of your podcast?
I mean, personality was pretty big because at the end of the day, like, the one thing that successful entrepreneurs have is confidence. And like,
Yeah.
I was confident from day one. I was confident that I was not a good podcaster from day one. Like that was my confidence, but I was confident that I was going to get a little bit better every single day. I was confident that the show was going to grow, that I was going to get better, that opportunities were going to evolve because of me doing the show. So that confidence was so huge. And like, that is such an important trait to have, is to be confident. And by the way, be confident that you're going to fail, because like, that's the reality. You're going to fail. So be confident that you're going to fail, and then be confident you're going to learn from that failure. You're going to adjust and pivot and come back a little bit stronger the next time.
Absolutely. And that's motivation right there. Last question for you. If you had 60 seconds to speak directly with an entrepreneur listening to this podcast right now that's kind of feeling stuck where they're at, what would you tell them?
I would tell them this. Listen, if you really want to create a special life for yourself, you have to be intentional about that. And being intentional means you are going to design your day to be successful. I wake up at 5:30 a.m. every single morning, not because I have to, but because I know that's the right time for me to wake up. I'm not saying that's everybody's right time, but that's my right time, because I take my dog for a 3-mile walk. I have sunshine hitting my face. I see the sunrise in the Caribbean. I come back, I work out, I shower, I get into my gym, I do that show that I was telling you about earlier, and then that's done. I spend an hour with my son, Bo, who's 2 years old, just myself and him go on a little adventure. So I'm getting some quality time with my son in the morning. And then I start the rest of my day. Like that typically starts like around 9 to 9:15 a.m. I'm doing the rest of the things that I need to do to make my business successful. And sometimes that's 2 hours of work and I'm done by noon. Sometimes that's 5 hours of work and I'm done, by 3 or 4 p.m. And then I shut it down for the day, always by 5 p.m. And I go for a walk with my dog. Again, it's an evening 3-mile walk. Then I come back, put my son to bed, and then get to spend some time with my wife. And then I go to sleep with a smile on my face, knowing that I just spent a full day. Like I'm not drinking, I'm not doing, any substances. Like I'm getting a good night's sleep. Like I'm moving my business forward because that is me designing my life. So to kind of sum up this all up, that all works if you do the following: create the number one solution to a real problem in a growing industry. If you're doing that and then you design your life to work on that thing every single day, you will win. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, that's awesome. Words of wisdom, and success leaves clues, right? So just do the right action steps. But with that said, John, thank you so much for joining me today.
Adios.
If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to follow the show so you never miss a new release. And if you want all episodes in one place, plus exclusive insights and updates, head over to willpowerpodcast.org and join the email list. Lastly, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, take a quick second to leave a rating. It helps the show grow more than you know. We'll see you in the next one.